Hi, Senior English Angels. Miss Dean here with Miss Colleen, my guest host. We are going to have a interview after I let you guys know what's going on this week. So please stick around for that. I'm trying to be an Instagram, YouTube influencer, so hopefully you guys think that's funny. So we are very close to the end of the school year. I know that Governor DeSantis said that we will not be going back to school for the rest of the school year, which you guys know breaks my heart. I've done my fair share of crying on the couch about it. I'm going to do something special for you guys. I'm going to get sentimental. I'm going to try to make you guys cry so that you know how much I care about you, but that's something that I tell you every day anyway, so we don't have to dwell on it now. But for right now, I'm giving you guys a really easy week. We've been going over different types of poetry, analyzing it, listening to it, reading it, identifying the figurative language in it, and now I want to give you guys the opportunity to find a poet that you like. Not one that I've given you to like, but one that you like. So based on the different types of poetry that we've been reading and analyzing together, I've compiled a list of poets that fall under each category. I want you to research them, tell me their life story, tell me how they got into poetry, give me a picture, show me a poem that they wrote that meant a lot to you, analyze it for me, tell me why it was so meaningful to you, and it's going to be a little mini poet project. So it should take you a good amount of time, probably an equal amount of time that I would assign to you for a regular week. And then don't forget to be sure to be checking in every day for attendance questions. I am not taking attendance for kids who answer the questions late. You should have learned that by now. So I'll make sure you answer them by 3:20 p.m. every day so that I can take that attendance for you. We only have 2 weeks left. I have exciting plans for you guys. So other than that, let's get into questions with Miss Colleen. So, Miss Colleen, a couple of questions that I asked my kids this week that I want to ask you are, the first one being, what is something that makes you smile?
Oh gosh, I feel like I smile so much.
That's good. I think that when we're in quarantine, we really get an opportunity to think about the smaller things and not going to school, not going to work, and not being with friends. We're really forced to look at the things that make our lives enjoyable and fulfilling and make us smile every day.
I think, it's this quarantine, it's taught a lot of people about exactly what you said, the simple things, and a good playlist on Spotify, a good show on Netflix, maybe just getting outside, moving around a little bit, calling a friend you haven't talked to in a long time because now you have the time to do so, sending your favorite teacher a message, just something that, I don't know, I feel like I'm very lucky. I'm a nanny for 2 kids. I'm doing that full time. And it's amazing the things that you forget about, that they don't know what's going on in the world right now. They don't really understand it because they're 2 and 3. And the other day, just doing the most simple thing of me trying to keep them active and keep them engaged and stimulated, they were just so happy. And that just brought me so much joy because I know times are kind of unsure and scary right now for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, but they were just so happy just to be in South Florida where the sun is shining and moving and being able to ride their bike and they don't understand that that's the only thing we can really do right now. They were just happy to be there and be present, and I thought that just brought me so much joy and it made me smile because it's just something so simple that our busy everyday lives it kind of passes us, but this was it was a moment I could really slow down and enjoy, and it brought a big smile to my face.
Aw, that's sweet. That's really wholesome. Our friend Lauren is pregnant in Missouri and it's snowing, so sucks to be her. She used to be a dancer at Disney World.
How cool is it to watch a fresh snowfall, to open your door to a winter wonderland?
I'm usually the positive one. Lauren, we love you. We love you. We're so excited for your child.
Snow angel.
Yeah, your little snow angel. So finish this sentence, Miss Colleen.
Okay.
Everyone that knows me knows that I love
to be loud and to dance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know that you love to dance.
I love going to the grocery store with my little mask on and just dancing. When the Publix plays Oh, you guys are probably too young.
You dance in the store?
I just do like a little soft jig, or when I'm driving.
A soft jig.
A little snapper. I like, with my kids, I like to make what we're doing into songs. So we're making banana pancakes, and I just always do like a little like fun. I don't know. And I love being loud just because I love my voice being heard.
You know those people that like to listen to their own voice? There's no shame in that.
I just like, yeah, people who know, I feel like people who know that about me. What's yours? What's the end of your sentence?
Everyone knows that knows me knows that I love cooking. I love cooking for other people.
She made Southwest nachos last night with sweet potatoes and corn, not vegan, lots of cheese and meat. Oh no, we didn't put meat on top, but Miss Jean is the best cook, and everyone who knows her knows that she loves doing it.
Yeah, and I love serving people. I like being in the kitchen when Robbie and I have friends over. I like being
I love
in the
sitting
kitchen,
and watching her in the kitchen and dancing for her while she cooks.
I do need a little
motivation.
Yeah, a little pick me up every so often. So since a lot of my kids are going to be going to college, we obviously met in college. We met our first 2 or 3 weeks of college. What was your favorite memory in college? Which is hard to pick because it was 4 years. And each year is so different.
I think that between the sports and the football games and whether you're going to a community college and just going and meeting new people and that excitement.
Which we both did.
We both did. That excitement of wow, I am here because I drove myself here. I know my schedule. I know my classes because I picked this. There's a lot, but there's a lot of meeting new people from all these different places. They do have a lot of icebreakers in college that will never go away, even in jobs. That is
Heads
always,
up. Yeah.
just so you know.
There's going to be a lot of icebreakers.
That never stops just because you never know if you're from the same part of an area, or if you met someone who moved here from Minnesota and they're going to the same school as you. I think that there's a lot of big things, but my favorite memory, honestly, because the reason why I moved to Gainesville and I met Miss Dean was to go to school. I had to miss one of the biggest football games. It was Tennessee and Florida. And our apartment complexes, we lived in the same complex. You could hear the chants and everyone tailgating and the stadium going wild, and I missed it, so I could stay at home and study. I had a huge exam Monday evening for anatomy and physiology too, and I really needed to get a good grade, and I stayed home. I completely avoided all temptation of going, even though my roommate was going. Everyone was calling me and texting me to go and support the Gators and go do your thing for tailgating, and I stayed home, and I actually ended up getting the highest grade in the class for my exam. And that to me was just okay, I worked hard towards something, and I know that it was so hard to say no, and it will be so hard to just check in with yourself and do what you need to do. But I did it, and I ended up getting the best score in the class because probably everyone was out tailgating and going to the football game, and I was nope, I need to study. I don't know certain material, and it was, that to me was this is why I'm here. This is what I'm doing. It brought me back, kind of. There's a lot of distractions in college, and I think that you're at college to get a great education, but to better yourself, whether it's socially or, academically in school. And that was my little reminder of this is my why. This is why I'm here. And it was a big moment for me.
If I'm not mistaken, that was the Tennessee game where Jeff Driscoll got the game-winning touchdown, if you're a Gator fan. So, thank you so much, Miss Colleen. I know that we all go to college for different reasons, and while football games and parties might be an exciting part of it, we're there to expand our horizons. We go from middle school to high school, and we get in contact with so many different types of people from different types of families. And then when we go from high school to college, it's just so much bigger than that. Not only are we interacting with different people from different backgrounds, but we're also being forced to challenge our own ideas that we were brought up with, our own beliefs, and do so in a non-judgmental way where we can academically and critically analyze them. And it's a lot of fun to do, but a lot of times you are going to have to make sacrifices, whether it's a football game or a volleyball game or a baseball game or a party or a sorority or fraternity date function or event that you're going to have to do, there are sacrifices that you need to at the beginning of the semester just get mentally ready for, that you're going to miss this so that you can make up this. And it's a really great free opportunity to practice. It's really like practicing adulthood, because now that we're adults, we have to sacrifice buying kimonos online because we have to pay our cell phone bill, or sacrifice going out to dinner and getting appetizers at 5 p.m. because we need to pay for classes or we want to pay our water bill. So it's really a safe opportunity to practice that give and take when it comes to money and time and your personal energy that you're exerting on other people or other events that you could be exerting somewhere else. So my second question after that one is, what is your best advice for people that are going to college?
I think that getting a routine.
I love routine.
I was very foreign to routines. I was very just go with the flow and figure it out. And my room was a mess.
It still lives with my parents. My mom gets a heart attack every time
Your
she
mom
walks
cleans
in.
my room frequently.
We're 25.
We're 25, so don't worry, it never changes. But getting a routine, because it was so true of like I didn't have mom or dad or someone checking in on what I was doing. If I was eating my vegetables, if I was going out and exercising, if I was, making sure I was allotting and budgeting my money that I had, and even if it's a small amount, just making sure like, doing things like a fitness class or something, that getting a routine that you can get in your day-to-day that checks on your, like, you're keeping yourself accountable financially, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I think that's something I'm still learning today as a 25-year-old, but if you can get a really good foundation as you start college, because it is kind of your practice and your segue into adult world. Even though you are 18, you are an adult, you're not paying a mortgage, you're not, paying for certain things. Like, it's kind of just your practice into the real world, and just taking advantage of that. Experience the fun. There's so much fun. I met Miss Dean. I'm so lucky. 7 years later, almost 8 years later, you are going to meet people that are just so amazing, that kind of help influence and impact in good and bad ways, the way that you've thought your whole life, and the way that you've thought that things are your whole life. But just getting your routine, if it's even something for 5 or 7 days straight, making your bed every day, and if that's the one thing you get done, good on you. But just really just saying, okay, well, this is what she's doing and she's studying so much, or this is what this guy in my class is doing, I should do that too. Just knowing that figuring yourself out as an adult or as a young adult in college is not an umbrella. There's not one right answer for everyone. It's going to be getting your classes, and if you're working, I worked 2 jobs and was in school full time, and that was like very hard. I had to make a lot of sacrifices socially to do what I was there to do, but just, taking a night to just stay in, or taking a night to go out and go, Miss Dean and I would go and, relax and go to a nice dinner together and talk and laugh. And I just think checking in with yourself, there's always going to be life stressors, and there's always going to be things that, when, even when you're in the workforce, or if you're going right from high school to the workforce, there's always going to be things that stress you out. And money is always, it doesn't matter how much you have, it's going to be stressful doing what you have to do. So just really checking in with yourself and saying, like, when was the last time I went on a nice walk? When was the last time I read a book that wasn't for school, that was something for fun? Calling a friend from high school, or calling your parents, calling your grandma, and just, it really brings you back to yourself and what you need. So just routine.
Yeah. And I think it's a really good point that you brought up, that you were never really into routine, because I was very routine oriented. I woke up every morning, I went to school, I went to football practice, I went to my job, and then I did all of my homework at home, and I wouldn't reward myself with dinner until I was done. So when I was in high school, it was very freeing that I didn't have that, but it was also very liberating that I got to create my own schedule. And so I wanted to be somebody that, it's really great because you get to create who you want to be. So I wanted to be somebody that woke up early, that was productive, that appreciated the small things. So I did wake up at 7 a.m. every day. I did work out every day. I did read every day. I did eat a ton. What?
I did not wake up at 7 a.m.
I had a magnolia tree outside of my window, so the birds would wake me up, whether I liked it or not. I'd read every day. I would eat 3 fruits every day. We'd go to the farmer's market every week. We would watch football games. We would study together. I was making sure that all of my homework was done before I did anything fun. I would go to Michael's. We would go to Trader Joe's and get corn salsa.
Probably caviar.
But while it may seem for some of you restricting to have a schedule, it is what helps you thrive, and it is something that can help you become the adult that you want to become. So, final question, Miss Colleen. I know that you mentioned that some of my kids are going straight into the workforce and they're not going straight into college. So, just in general, what's your best advice for adulthood? I know that we're like fresh adults. I don't know what makes you an adult. I only considered my adult once I got myself an adult once I got engaged. I don't know if you consider yourself an adult. I wasn't an adult when I was in college, or paying for rent, or when I had a salary job, or a 401k. So, what's the best advice for living outside of your parents?
I mean, I think even, like, there's moments when my parents will still be like, so what do you want to do when you grow up? Like, to each other as, like, 50-year-olds. Like, it's the funniest thing because they don't write any textbook that says when you become an adult and when you're an established adult, let me know what it is, because you're kind of thrown out into the world and just taught and told, like, this is what you're supposed to do, even if it's not cookie cutter for everyone.
Yeah.
So we both started out community college. I had to take time off of school to work to save money. I was working 2 jobs, full-time jobs that were exhausting, and I think the best thing you can do for yourself, or I don't know what makes you an adult, just know that even the people that you think that you follow on Instagram or on TikTok, I don't even know anymore. What's the
Robbie just tell me what TikTok.
The people that you think have it so together probably don't. I know you're only seeing their glorified moments, so don't beat yourself up because you feel like you're not where everyone else around you should be, because I felt like that for a long time, and I'm now, as a 25-year-old, I love waking up and going to work every day, and as a 22-year-old or a 21-year-old, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing and what everyone was telling me I should do, but I was miserable. I cried every day. I hated work, and I hate just whatever you do, just love it.
Yeah.
And you might not love it all day, every day, but just be proud. If you're not working towards growing and challenging yourself, you're not working towards something you should be doing. So don't let other people influence what is right for you. I think I had to figure out, I had to move. You guys know, Miss Dean was trying to get me to Delray for months, and I had no idea what I was doing, but now I get to help take care of 2 small children who just remind me every day why the world is so scary, but it's so great. And I don't know, just so many people told me what I should be doing, what I could be doing, and I just had to quiet those voices and really channel with myself and be grounded with myself to know, like, I think what I'm doing is great and what I'm doing is fine, and I wake up every day with a smile. And you know, it might not be perfect, and I might not be sitting in, you know, a huge office in, you know, New York making crazy money, but I take care of myself and what I need, and then I figure out with the routine how to budget my wants, and I just think it's such a good balance. And just know that other people, what's right for them isn't always what's right for you. And I think that's a big thing, and I wish I could tell myself that over and over. You know, we're not that much older than you guys as seniors in high school, seriously, and I just think that I never got a teacher like Miss Dean to say, like, hey, like, what are you doing for you? Like, and what do you want to do? Not what you're supposed to do. And that's important too, what your parents say, what your teachers say, because they've been through life. But just know that you're going to glorify and look at all these people doing things, but you don't see their hard times. You don't see their struggles. You see their fabulous, filtered lives, and it's not always like that, and it doesn't have to be like that for you. So just, I don't know, just be proud of what you're doing. My parents always taught me, I don't care if you're a janitor or a CEO, love what you're doing and go to work and care about it, and care about what you're doing, and care about those people. if you are a CEO, care about the people that are maybe on the totem pole lower than you, but just be proud, because it takes an entire, sorry, the camera went it takes everyone to get a really good job done. It takes teamwork, and the more you know about yourself and your characteristics of a hard worker and what makes you happy, the better asset you will be to a team as a whole. So
that's a good point, because I think that when we're so young, we get bogged down by what we're supposed to be doing, and that happened to me when I worked on the psych unit. You guys know that I worked on the psych unit. I wanted to be, my dad always told me that I was going to be a doctor. I was always fascinated with the mind. I wanted to get my PhD in mental health counseling. I swore to myself that I would never get married until I had my PhD. And when the opportunity presented itself for me to work on the electroconvulsive therapy unit, not just in a therapeutic office, in like the hardcore therapy medication doesn't work, we need to induce a seizure into you to see if you get better. It was really hardcore. I thought it was so cool, but going in every day, being it worked for Taylor, who was taking all the weekends that I was off, but I have such an open heart, and I commit to people, and I dive into people, and I grow with them, and you guys know that I've grown with so many of you, that I took their pain home every day, and Miss Colleen was there when I came home, and I closed the door, and I just cried my eyes out, because I had heard such sad stories, and had walked someone through an attempted suicide, and I'm sorry to get dark, but it's important to know that I kept myself in that environment for 8 months, when I knew that every morning that I woke up having to go to that shift, I was crying and I was dreading it. You don't have to do something for your resume, or for your future job, or for your parents, or because it looks good. You need to make sure you're doing things that make you joyful. And now I have a real adult job with a 401k and a salary, and I wake up every morning because I get to give you guys positive advice, and I get to I get to grow with you, I get to listen to you, I get to listen to how you go through the same things that I went through, and I get to build you up and hug you and let you know how much you matter, and that is so, so fulfilling to me. And I wake up every morning looking forward to it, and even if I come home really stressed out, or I just need to like throw my phone across the room because I can't look at social media anymore because I just need to be alone with my thoughts, I still feel like I made a difference, and I still feel like I mean something to someone. And I think that's the core that you need to be asking yourself when you get into the work field, or when you get into college, or when you're doing clubs or sports, or like, it doesn't even have to be as serious as like real adulthood things. It's just, are you really feeling fulfilled in your sorority or fraternity? Are you really feeling fulfilled in the sport that you were recruiting for? Are you really feeling fulfilled in the philanthropies that you're getting involved in? Are you feeling fulfilled in the volunteer work that you're doing? Are you feeling fulfilled in the classes that you're in? Do you enjoy them? My worst class was methods of social research. That was like the hard class of sociology. It was at 8 a.m. with Dr. White, but I was fascinated by research, and I loved it. Well, I didn't have to take it, regardless of what I thought or what I didn't think.
You made the best of it.
I made the best of it, and I enjoyed it with my friend Rosie, and we woke up every morning.
Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie. We woke up every morning and we would see Dr. White, and we read our book.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's just what you're doing. Just make the best of it, and knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and knowing that I'm really good at this. That what you've been telling yourself your whole life, whether you're an athlete or a student or you're working in hospitality, that might not be. You're gonna figure it out, and you're not on some timeline. Don't let people give you a timeline, because I think we're grown up with that. Take your time, figure out your strengths and weaknesses, and I wish I could go back to high school. I wish I could go back to 20 even, and just be like, just slow down. Yeah. Just take it easy. Think, what's Colleen saying? What does Colleen need? This Colleen, sorry. What is, check in with yourself. And I think that it will, something that you do in these really pivotal years, it will make up for it the rest of your life. And it will be so worth it for such a long run that, I don't know, it just...
And the fun doesn't end in college. No. We're still having so much freaking fun together.
Look at our kimonos.
Look at us. We're wearing kimonos with flowers on
gardening.
Them. She's at my apartment. We just gardened.
It's just getting started. You're just getting started.
Yeah.
There's so much wiggle room.
there's so
room
much fun to have at every stage of life. Don't forget that. So if you have stayed for this long and have listened to the advice that is from Miss Colleen, the guest of the week, then text me on Remind a heart or something. What's your favorite emoji?
Oh, they get emojis?
I think they can send emojis.
Yeah, little hearts or a little sunshine.
The little blushy face.
Oh, a little. We haven't seen the ocean. Steve and I in a long time. A little ocean wave.
A little ocean wave. Yeah, let us know that you watch, because I know a lot of my kids don't watch the videos at all, and I'm sure some of you are going to cut this out. So
that's fine.
Let us know. Made it this long. I'll keep bringing guests on the show until your last week of school, but we're going to go out. We're going to get some food. We got dressed up to record this video
and go to the grocery store
with our masks. So, have the best day ever. I miss you tremendously. I wish I could be hugging you. I'll keep you posted with my plants that I'm growing right here. Alright, that's it. Bye!